Hi my friends, this is Phil again. Very welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how do I build this character which can actually use different builds to play the game. So you can use one character to enjoy the game in different ways. And the main reason I want to show you this character is because I hear people asking a lot about builds on heavy gunners, commandos, melees, gunslingers. And to be frank, if you actually build one character and if you plan it properly from the start, you can build this character into a multi-build character. So you can actually easily switch between each characters. For example, in this case, what I'm going to show you is I built a character which can switch between melee, shotgun, heavy gunner, and even a commando build during the game very easily. But to do this, there are some preconditions. The number one condition is in the game, some of the builds are actually sharing very similar special. And with the same special, you can create multiple builds around it. And secondly, you have to be high level enough so you can have enough points to buy different perks to create different perk loadout for different builds. And thirdly, it's actually because the latest patch actually nerfed the weapons somehow from damage calculation of multiplicative to additive. That actually makes the common defensive and offensive perks more valuable. And the difference between different builds become narrower because the weapon specific perk has much less impact to the final result of your build. To actually make this switch between different builds work instantly, if you're on PC, that's going to be brilliant because you can use this modes which is called Perk Loadout Manager to switch between different builds in a couple of clicks. Okay, so let's jump into action. Okay, this is actually my main character, which is level 361, I think. And you already see I use it as a heavy gunner in the daily ops with the bloodied explosive 50 cal. Now I want to show you how well it can be when you're against bigger and stronger enemy. In this case, the Murloc Queen. And you can see I'm doing pretty well by taking his health in a constant and fast speed. The heavy gunner build is currently the best DPS build in the game in terms of average DPS. I'm not talking about burst DPS because apparently the stealth commando is a champion for burst DPS output. But when you're trying to fight big and stronger enemies like the Scorchbeast Queen, like A.O. Williams, heavy gunner is more sustainable and they can be much more tankier, absorb all the damage in, where cause a huge amount of consistent damage output. And now let's try the big green guy. Let's switch to this bloodied prime minigun to show you that most of the heavy guns are really powerful. And this is the legendary level 100 behemoth. And if you look at his health bar, you will realize the speed that the health dropping is significant and constant. Now he's down with a half magazine of my minigun. Oh, it gave me a Gatling laser. Gatling laser is a good heavy gun as well, especially you don't need to worry about the bullet, you just use your fusing cores. Now this is my shorty build. I just switched all my perk loads and equipped my bloodied Gauss shotgun. Let me show you how effective this build is. Let's take the super mutant as a target. After fully charged, that's one shot per super mutant. This one didn't die because I didn't actually fully charge the gun. It's one shot on the torso. It's better to shoot them on the torso to actually take advantage of the explosive damage. If you shoot them on the head, you can also kill them by one shot, but that's because the double damage on the head Here you see my shorty build is also very effective and very powerful. Now let me show you my melee build. This is a 200 melee build. I was trying to do sneak attack, but because this tenderizer is a loud weapon, so immediately they detect me. If I do power attack on the super mutant, that's one hit kill as well. These are all level 75 super mutant. Oh, just missed. Now let me finish them quickly. You can see I'm very tanky, even without the power armor. So the tenderizer I'm using is actually a bloodied tenderizer with a pepper mold on it. I'll show you the details later. Let me take this 2 super mutant as a last demonstration of the melee build. Okay, I think that's all of them. How powerful my melee build is. Okay, after the demonstration, let me show you my gear. That's my backpack with a Grosser Space Explorer mode on it to reduce 90% of my food and drinks weight. Then I use Secret Service Under Armor with the shielded mode, which give me extra strength and perception and endurance. I would strongly suggest if you have the gold bullion, you really need to buy this one. It gives you a lot of extra bonus. Then I have a full set of unyielding Secret Service armor. That's one of the reasons I'm so tanky, even when I was not in the power armor. But to be frank, you can create bloodied melee builds with any full set of unyielding armor. With the right perk loadout, you can be tanky as well. I created another character which is a pure melee build without any Secret Service armor at all, just randomly unyielding armor I can get. It's very good. I will do another video to show that later. So this is a weapon I'm using. It's a pepper molded tenderizer with bloodied perk, 40% power attack damage. Now let me show you a perk load for melee build. I have the Slugger perk, Incisor, Blocker, another 1 level Slugger. I have to use Travel Pharmacy because I'm carrying a lot of aids with me. So under Endurance, I have the Life Giver, which gives me extra life, fireproof, to give me extra fireproof damage, to make me almost immune to fire and explosive damage. Under Charisma, I have the Tenderizer to increase damage. I have the Stringent Numbers to boost my positive mutation effect. So I have this Market Shift Warrior to slow down the degrade of my melee weapon. Under Agility, I use Action Go to give me fast AP regen. I also use Adrenaline to boost my damage. A Bone Survivor is something essential, but with the Bone Survivor on, I'm almost invincible. The sneak doesn't really matter. Under luck, I have Serendipity and Blood Mass to increase the damage and reduce the damage intake. So again, under strength, the martial artist and incenser is more important than the 200 melee damage perks. That's why I only have level 2 and level 1 slugger and expert slugger. I don't even have to put down master slugger here to increase the damage. Now let me show you an amateur stealth commando build. Oh, keep on missing the head. That's it. If I hit them on the head, I think 3 or 4 bullets gonna get them down.
You're here. Stop hiding.
I think that's 4 bullets to take him down. It's apparently not as powerful as the full stealth commando build, but it is efficient enough for farming purpose. Because if I do leveling up, I would normally just equip it as a bloodied commando build, because this is the fastest way to farm. Now let me show you the weapon I'm using with my stealth commando build. It's a bloodied automatic combat rifle with 10% damage while aiming with fast action point deduction. These are all the modes I applied to it. So the damage is not very impressive, but this is not my best rifle. My commando build actually have all the best rifles. Now let me show you my perk loadout for the bloodied stealth commando. So for the strength, I don't think there's anything important for commando builds. Everything I took down here is to reduce the weight. For perception, I have concentrated fire, tank killer to gain extra penetration of armor. I have a little bit boost on my black damage using commando perks. This is everything I have. Under endurance, it's the same as my melee health boosting perks. Under charisma, tenderizer is a must have to maximize my damage. I equipped this bodyguard to actually increase a bit of my defense. It's totally not necessary because I'm stealth build and stringent numbers as well. I use gunsmiths to reduce the condition degrade of the weapon. I do play my stealth commando build in nerd rage situation to maximize my output. Under agility, adrenaline is a must have. Escape artist for better sneaking. Covert operative for better sneak attack bonus. We don't really need stuntmen unless we do the combat at night. And of course sneak for stealth build. I use Tormentor in this loadout because I enjoy cripple enemies purely for fun. And now my legendary perk. So Master Infiltrator, that's a quality of life perk. Seasoning style, fire damage, endurance, increase my health. Take one for the team, that's the main damage boost card, which causes 30% more damage to enemies who's actually attacking you. Funky Bud, so give me 100 poison damage resistance. Electric absorption, I have chance to recharge my fusion core and regenerate health when being attacked by enemy weapons. That's a must-have for daily operation. Okay, now let me show you my shotgun build perk load. So under strength, I also have some weight management cards, level 2 of all the shotgun perk. So I'm not actually maximize damage output. The scatter shot actually reduce the shotgun weight as well, fast reloading. Under perception, concentrate the fire is important. For other cards, you can just do any cards as you want. I just use the butcher bounty here to generate more food. Again, under endurance, nothing changes. Fireproof and life giver. Oops. Under charisma, stringent numbers again to boost my mutation positive effect. This is very good card to have. I use inspirational here purely for XP farming. You can actually swap it with tenderizer. But because shotgun is a slow fire rate and you kill mobs just with one shot, so tenderizer won't give you a lot of benefit unless you are doing the boss fighting. Under intelligence, oh, this is the wrong perk card. The Demolition Expert is the one I need because I'm using Gauss shotgun, and explosive damage is heavily boosted by Demolition Experts with this gun. If you use Gauss shotgun, you would love to have the highest level Demolition Experts. Under agility, I use Enforcer to increase the chance to crit enemy. It's purely for fun. And it's only necessary when we do boss fight or we use different shotguns rather than Gauss shotgun. Adrenaline again, increased damage. Sneak, I only use sneak when I use a different shotgun. I have Executioner's combat shotgun, which I will use in stealth mode. Again, covered cooperative to increase damage in stealth. Not super duper. So class break, stats genes, typical perk loadout. Serendipity to reduce damage intake. You can use any other perk cards under lock here. You can use good with salt so you can keep the food longer. You can use blood mass to increase the damage a bit. You can also use Grim Reaper Sprint together with Critical Savvy to do a critical build for shotgun as well. You can also use Ricochet to be more tankier, and it works perfectly with Vampire weapon as well. If you have a Vampire combat shotgun or Ghost shotgun, then I definitely recommend you to equip this Ricochet. That's gonna generate extra health when it's triggered. But if you are stealth shotgun build, Ricochet will not benefit you at all because there's no chance you got shot by enemies. And here is my loadout for Heavy Gunner. So heavy gunner perks, all level 1. Then with all the other perks to do my weight reduction. Because I'm really having a lot of weapons and ammos with me. A blocker is a very good defensive perk against melee attacks. Glowing sight give me extra damage against glowing enemies. You can swap it with any other cards. For example, Butcher Bounty to get more food if you enjoy food just as I do. Concentrate the fire, no, because as a heavy gunner build, I rarely do any vets. Or exterminator can be handy when you fight bugs and insects. So under endurance, we don't need to change anything. Charisma, we can swap between inspirational and tenderizer for XP and extra damage. Stabilized is a must-have for your heavy gunner build, especially because it provides additional armor penetration, which is extremely useful when you boss fight. Gunsmith to reduce the condition degrading. Battery included, reduce armor weight I'm carrying. So under agility, I have through hiker to reduce my foot weight. I use dodgy to make myself more tanky. But if you play daily ops, I would strongly suggest you to take this card out because it's gonna drain your AP very quickly, and you do need speed when you do daily op. Bone Survivor, not again to make me tankier. Action Girls is not really necessary. Adrenaline for extra damage, Blood Mass, damage boost, Serendipity to make me tankier, and Strategian class freak. As always, I can put Ricochet on to make myself even tankier with the vampire weapon, and one gun army I rarely use them, to be frank. I think it's the less useful heavy gunner perk. And I can swap the bloody mess with this luck of the draw, combine it with a gunsmith. If I max it out the gunsmith to level 5, these 2 perk cards gonna give me at least 30% of the condition for my gun, which is very important for heavy gun user. And again, I can use good with salt if I need to carry more food with me. So this is my heavy gunner build. Now you can see I have shotgun build, heavy gun build, bloodied sneak, which is bloodied commando build, and the melee as well. So this is the full build I'm playing with this single character. It depends on what mood I'm in, I'm just switching between them. Now let me show you my mutations. Because this is my main character, I play the game from the start with this one. I basically have all the mutations in this character, because in the very beginning of the game it's so difficult to get serum. I have to use the tricks to actually get myself radiated once and over to acquire all the mutations in the game. I cannot choose which one I want, which one don't. For example, the electrical charge is not a useful mutation at all. Empath, grounded, they are all good mutations for basically all kinds of builds. Healing factor is something really to get rid of it, because it's reduced the chem effect, where the health regen doesn't do anything, to be frank. Herd mentality is a good one to have. Muscle Superior give you the superhero ability to jump high. Plague Walker is worthless to have. Scale Skin give me additional energy resistance and damage resistance with a little bit AP cost. It's totally worth it. Speed Demon make you run faster and reload faster. Talon is mainly for unarmed builds. I sometimes use a fist instead of a two-handed weapon. Twisted Muscle, again melee damage boosts. Chance to cripple. Unstable Isotope, that's a worthless mutation again. I'm just too lazy to get rid of these useless mutations. I'm alright with them, I could be better without them. So as I mentioned, I need a lot of weight management perk because I'm really carrying a lot of things with me. My stats is totally full. All the ammo I'm carrying is ridiculously heavy. You see all the fusion cores, plasma cores, ultrasonic 5mm. That's the main reason I have to use a lot of weight management perk. And I think in this game, weight management perk is a very important one actually, to make your life much easier. Damage or the DPS is not everything. Combine all the perks together, you can enjoy a good quality of life in the game. Okay, so this is my character with multiple builds, and apparently you see I'm using a mode in the game, so I can quickly switch between them. I can make a separate video to show you how to actually use this mode, but that is everything in this video. I hope this video can give you basic ideas how to build various builds for heavy gunner, for melee, for short gunner, as well as a bit of taste of how the commando build could be. It's gonna be great if you want to build your character into a multi-build character as well, so you can actually switch playstyles whenever you want, wherever you want in the game. So far, I'm really enjoying this character. Okay, that's all for today. I really hope you like it, and please subscribe if you can. That's gonna be really helpful for me to keep on doing videos like this. Until next time, Fearless out.